The moment you stop running after a woman, something powerful and completely unexpected happens, something she never saw coming. Her entire perception of reality shifts. It's not just that you're stepping away from her life. It's that you're stripping away the very fuel that powered her ego. The instant you stop showering her with attention, validation, and energy, she begins to feel something she never wanted to experience: powerlessness. Have you ever watched a woman's attitude change completely when a man stops caring? One moment, she's full of herself, acting entitled, treating you like an afterthought. The next, she's suddenly all over your social media, sending you a random, "Hey stranger," text, or finding the most ridiculous excuses to reach out. And you start wondering, wait, the same woman who was ignoring me now suddenly acts like she misses me? No, she doesn't miss you. She misses what you gave her: your attention, your admiration, your energy. This is what happens when a man realizes his true worth. This is why the most powerful move a man can make is to walk away. But before we dive deeper into this harsh reality, I need you to do something. If you're ready to hear the cold, hard truth all the way to the end, comment below, "I am the prize." Say it, type it, own it. And if you believe this truth needs to reach more men who are still trapped in the cycle, hit the subscribe button. YouTube will push this message to those who need to hear it, and together, we will help them break free. Phase 1. Shock and denial. Women are masters of manipulation. They don't need physical strength to control men. They don't need force. Instead, they use psychological tactics, emotional leverage, and power dynamics to keep men trapped in an emotional web. And most men fall for it, every single time. A woman doesn't need to love you to control you. She doesn't even need to care about you. All she has to do is keep you wanting her. This is how the game works. She gives you just enough attention to keep you interested, just enough affection to make you believe you're special, just enough validation to keep you hooked. But the second you try to fully claim her, she pulls away. Why? Because if you feel secure, if you feel comfortable, if you feel in control, she loses power. So, she starts starving you of affection. She takes longer to reply to your texts. She cancels plans at the last minute. She suddenly becomes busy when she used to be excited to see you. And what does the average man do? He tries harder. He sends more texts. He calls more. He does more. And that's exactly what she wants. Because the harder you chase, the more control she gains over you. But here's what happens when a man wakes up. When he finally gets smart. When he realizes he's playing a losing game and decides to walk away. He stops texting first. He stops calling. He stops chasing. He stops trying to prove his worth. He simply disappears. And the moment this happens, she feels it. At first, she acts like she doesn't care. She pretends she hasn't noticed. She goes about her life as if nothing has changed. But inside, she's in complete panic mode. She's telling herself, "No, this is impossible. He can't actually be leaving. He's just playing a game. He'll be back." Because in her mind, men always come back. She has tested this before. She knows most men can't handle the silence. Most men break within a few days. They get desperate. They cave in. But this time, something's different. You're not texting her. You're not checking up on her. You're not begging for her attention. And that's when the first crack forms in her reality. She starts testing the waters. She likes one of your pictures. She sends a random "hey" text. She watches your story and waits. And in this moment, she is doing something incredibly dangerous for her ego. She is waiting for your reaction. She is checking her phone every few minutes, looking for that notification, hoping that you'll respond. And if you do, she wins. Because now she knows you were just pretending to walk away. But if you don't, if you remain silent, if you truly walk away, her entire sense of control is shattered. That's when panic turns into self-doubt. That's when she starts questioning herself. And that's when we enter phase 2. Phase 2. Self-doubt and reflection. At first, she lies to herself to protect her ego. He's just playing games. He's trying to make me jealous. He'll get bored and come back. But as the days pass, and you still haven't reached out, her mind starts to break. She doesn't want to admit the truth. She doesn't want to accept what's happening. But she can't escape it. Because deep down, she's feeling something she's never felt before: rejection. Men are used to rejection. It's part of our reality. We get ignored, ghosted, and curved constantly. But women, they are not built to handle it. For most of her life, she has had options. She has had men chasing her. She has had guys texting her, complimenting her, begging for her time. And now, for the first time, a man has truly walked away. And now, she's forced to ask herself a terrifying question. Maybe I wasn't as special as I thought. That's when self-doubt kicks in. She starts spending more time in front of the mirror. She starts taking longer to do her makeup. She starts scrolling through your page, wondering if you've moved on. Because now, she doesn't know what to do. A woman's entire identity is built on the belief that she is desirable, that she is wanted, that she has power over men. And when a man she thought she controlled no longer desires her, it destroys her. She starts questioning, am I losing my looks? Did he find someone better? Was I not good enough? And this drives her insane. Because now, she starts to feel something new, something she never thought she would feel for you: jealousy. She starts wondering if you have another woman. She starts checking who's liking your pictures. She starts stalking your followers, analyzing the comments under your posts. Because suddenly, she is the one chasing. And it eats her alive. She won't show it. She will still act like she's fine. But inside, she's screaming. And this is why women always come back. Not because they love you, not because they miss you, but because they cannot handle the idea of a man who truly moves on. And as this pain deepens, she becomes desperate, which leads us to phase 3. Phase 3. Rationalization and the rebound. At this stage, her emotions are completely out of control. She has cycled through shock, denial, panic, and self-doubt. She has spent nights staring at her phone, checking your social media, and wondering why you haven't come back. And now, she has reached the most dangerous phase of all: rationalization. This is where her mind begins playing tricks on her to avoid facing the brutal truth. She lost control over a man who wasn't supposed to walk away. She convinces herself that she was never that into you in the first place. She tells herself that you were just another guy in a long list of admirers. She starts rewriting history to protect her ego. He was too obsessed with me. It was a turn-off. He was too weak. That's why he couldn't handle me. I deserve better. She tells her friends that you were too needy. She convinces herself that she was the one who lost interest first, even though you were the one who walked away. She pretends she's better off without you. But here's the truth. She's not trying to convince the world. She's trying to convince herself. Because deep down, she knows the truth. She knows she fumbled a man who had power. She knows she lost a man who refused to be controlled. And that thought eats her alive. But instead of sitting alone with her thoughts and accepting reality, she takes the easy way out. She rushes into a rebound relationship. She grabs the first guy who gives her attention, a weak, easy-to-control man. A guy who will chase her, validate her, and worship the ground she walks on. But here's the critical part. She's not looking for love. She's using him as an emotional bandage to cover up the pain of losing you. She needs someone to reassure her that she's still desirable. She needs to feel like she's still in control. And that's why, suddenly, you'll see her posting more. Happy pictures, vacation photos, partying with friends. She wants you to see it. She wants you to think she has already moved on. She wants to trigger jealousy in you. But what she doesn't realize is that the only person she's fooling is herself. At first, it looks like she's winning. She has a new man, she's acting like life is perfect, and everything seems to be going her way. But there's a major problem. She doesn't actually respect this new guy. Because deep down, she knows the truth about weak men. She knows this new guy was too easy. He didn't make her work for it. He didn't have the self-respect to say no to her games. He didn't walk away. He ran toward her the second she showed interest. And women never respect men they can control. So what happens? She starts to lose attraction. She starts to feel bored. She starts pulling away. And before he even realizes what happened, she's already checked out. But guess who she starts thinking about now? You. Because now, she realizes her biggest mistake. She traded a strong man for a weak one. She downgraded. She threw away power for comfort. And that is a mistake she will regret forever. But by the time she realizes this, we enter the next phase, regret and obsession. Phase 4, regret and obsession. At this point, her rebound relationship has either collapsed or is barely holding on. She's no longer excited. She's no longer emotionally invested. And now, she's left with one thing she can't escape, her regret. She starts replaying memories of you. She starts comparing every guy to you. She starts wondering if she made a mistake. And that's when obsession kicks in. She starts stalking your social media more than ever. She starts looking through old messages, rereading your texts. She starts reminiscing about the times you made her feel something real. And here's the ironic part. The moment she realizes you're truly gone is the moment she wants you more than ever. Why? Because humans always want what they can't have. When you were chasing her, she saw you as just another option. But now you're the one thing she can't get back. And that drives her insane. She starts doing things she swore she would never do. She starts reaching out to your friends, asking about you. She starts posting subtle hints, hoping you'll notice. She starts making excuses to run into you accidentally. And if you ignore her, her obsession grows even stronger. Because now, you're the one in control. But here's where the final phase comes in. Desperation and last attempts. Phase 5. Desperation and last attempts. At this stage, she is out of options. She has tried everything. Stalking, reaching out, pretending she's moved on. Nothing has worked. And now, she's desperate. This is when you start seeing her true colors. She may start love-bombing you, suddenly acting like she's interested again, telling you how much she misses you, acting like she finally sees your worth. She may try to guilt-trip you, reminding you of the good times you had, acting like she's the victim, saying things like, "I always cared about you, but you just didn't see it." She may even try to make you jealous, suddenly posting about other guys, trying to act like she's happy, hoping it will get a reaction out of you. But here's what you must understand. It's not you she wants. It's control. She doesn't love you. She loves the power she used to have over you. And the moment you give in, the moment you text back, the moment you fall for her words, she wins. She gets her control back. She gets her validation back. She gets to feel powerful again. And guess what? The cycle starts all over again. This is why you must stay strong. This is why you must keep walking away. Because once you do, you enter the final stage, freedom and ultimate power. The final conclusion, freedom and ultimate power. Most men never make it this far. They break during the silence. They fall for the mind games. They cave in the moment she reaches out. But the men who truly understand this game, they become the only men that women respect. Because here's the cold, hard truth. Women do not love men they can control. They only respect the men who refuse to be controlled. And once you understand this, you will never chase a woman again. You will never beg for her attention. You will never waste your time trying to prove your worth. Because you are the prize. You are the man who walked away and never looked back. You are the man who doesn't need validation. You are the man who controls his own life. And that is the ultimate power. If you've made it to the end of this video, comment below, "I am unstoppable." And if you want this truth to reach more men who need to hear it, hit the subscribe button now. YouTube will push this content to those who are still trapped in the cycle. Be the man who walks away. Be the man who controls his own destiny. Be the man who is never afraid to lose her. Because once you become that man, you will never lose again.